Former presidential candidate and current sitting Senator Tim Scott telling Republicans it's time to unite around Donald Trump as he looks towards South Carolina.
When you win Iowa and you win New Hampshire, they've never had a loss. There's never been. So we're not going to be the first, I can tell you.
But I'm going to invite you to my home state starting tomorrow, where this election is over. It is time for the Republican Party to coalesce around our nominee and the next president of the United States, Donald Trump.
We have Senator Tim Scott from the great state of South Carolina, newly engaged. Congratulations. And we say best wishes, right?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, why are you endorsing him versus Nikki Haley, who was our governor there for
Who appointed you originally?
Yeah.
You know, it's very, very simple. America needs a change agent that looks like 2017 through 2020. We had low inflation, low crime, low interest rates, and high enthusiasm. We created the most inclusive economy in the history of the country. 7 million new jobs, 2/3 going to women, people of color. We had the lowest 20%. Their wages were growing faster than the top 20%. And Republicans gave HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities, more money than any administration ever. And then President Trump made it permanent. So when you look at the fact here in New Hampshire, the president won millennials by the largest margin. He won women. This race is already over. It is time for us to bring the race to South Carolina and close it out.
Right, and we just had with this somebody who was talking a little bit, the governor of the great state, who was supporting Nikki Haley, and he was talking about how going forward there are a number of open primary states, essentially a lot like New Hampshire, where moderates and independents can go ahead and vote as well. So, and what he's talking about is like a lot of classic presidential races. Let's see where people get the most delegates. Right now, Donald Trump has essentially doubled the number of delegates, but it's proportional. So that's one of the reasons she's sticking in, according to him, is so she can run up the delegate count too.
Well, one thing's clear. Every single day, we're not talking about Joe Biden. It's a day wasted as Republicans. But more importantly, it's a day wasted as Americans. We must make it clear that a 10 million person illegal immigration invasion on our southern border, it's devastating. Devastating in crime, devastating in opportunity, devastating in employment. You have to think about the fact that in this country, we lost 75,000 Americans to fentanyl coming across our southern border. We can do something about that. Finish the wall, have a president who puts the Remain in Mexico policy back in place, who changes our asylum policy. We've done it before. There was a 90% difference, not 10, a 90% difference between Trump and Biden. And think about millennials who want to buy a home today at 7 or 8.
Who can? Let's talk about South Carolina.
Exactly.
Let's talk about South Carolina. Here's Jim Clyburn a couple of weeks ago talking about your state and how President Trump has him worried. Watch.
I'm very concerned, and I have sat down with President Biden, and I've told him what my concerns are. I have no problem with the Biden administration and what it has done. My problem is that we have not been able to break through that MAGA wall in order to get to people exactly what this president has done.
What's he talking about?
I don't know. What I can tell you is that
he was talking about the black voter, because I watched that.
He's concerned that what is clear is that African Americans, for the first time in probably 30 years, are seriously considering the Great Opportunity Party. Why? Crime is devastating minority communities. Minorities, I think it was 80% of minorities want the same level of policing or more policing. And Democrats are defunding the police. They want to refund the police because we know that saving lives means having law enforcement, having chaos gone requires law and order. President Trump did that, actually. You think about the fact that Hispanic voters, 40% are considering Donald Trump. Millennials, just last night, voted more for Donald Trump than Nikki Haley.
So what is the strategy inside the Trump camp? Because Haley's not going to leave, more than likely. So you got 5 weeks until South Carolina, 2 weeks in uncontested Nevada, and then you got another month and a half until Super Tuesday. Does everything go national? Or does a third go intramural?
Yeah, so for me, the answer is very clear. What we have to do is just focus on South Carolina, make the margin so wide, so devastating that the race is over. The donors start turning their attention to Donald Trump. I think it's the next 2 or 3 weeks. The margins are going to get wider over the next 3 weeks. We're going home to South Carolina to finish this race and start focusing on Joe Biden. It's the future of our nation, not our party, that's at stake.
Now, according to Real Clear Politics, Donald Trump is 30% higher than Nikki Haley in South Carolina. But she's going there. She has a rally today in Charleston, or some sort of a speech today in Charleston. Donald Trump, I don't know if he's going to Nevada. Is he going to hit the road in South Carolina?
Nevada first.
First, I know, but he has to start campaigning in South Carolina because she's starting today.
He does, but let us not forget, there is a race in Nevada. He's going to win that race overwhelmingly, and that will even give more momentum. Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, win. Bring that momentum to South Carolina. I'm looking forward to going home. It's a state where not only do I love, but I'm the senator. We're going to go home and win the state by a large margin and finish this race.
And Senator, speaking of home,
yes,
big news. You got engaged to Mindy.
Yes, thank God. I mean, a man who outkicks his coverage, here I am. You know, there's a great scripture. We all know Proverbs 31, the Proverbs 31 woman who really brings joy not only to the household, but
this is the moment out in Kiowa Island.
That picture right there tells you a man that is not too proud to beg.
She's so cute. She's so cute. You know, Brian started all this. He had you on his radio show.
He did. And you and Sean were poking me at dinner several months ago.
Yeah, but that wasn't on live television or a radio show.
You did this.
I did. Look, I'm responsible.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you have to explain
it's all of America.
Explain it if you want.
I just said to you, you have a girl. Yes. Are we going to meet her? And next thing you know, people are running that clip on The View.
Yes.
And
calling
they said,
you a what?
They said, did Brian girlfriend shame Tim Scott? I don't even know what that term means. But it was whatever. It's going to happen.
No one knows what the terms used on The View means anyway. But what we can tell you is that God is good.
Right.
All the time.
And I look forward to being a happily married.
You know who else is good?
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.